I'm sorry, Klara. Nothing helps. I keep on thinking of Peter and his guitar and his goats and my goats and my grandfather, and I miss them all so.
Don't cry, Heidi. My grandmother is coming to visit us soon, and I will tell her about you and your grandfather, and perhaps she will arrange it that you can go back to the mountain, and maybe I could go with you.
I was sure Klara meant well, but her grandmother didn't come, and the long, dark days of February and March came and went, one after the other. I felt cramped and cooped up in the big, dark house, and I longed for the fresh, clear, clean air of the mountain top. One day, I think it was in April, the sun shone brightly, and the wind from the mountains was blowing free and clear, and I could stand it no longer. So I ran away, out of the house into the street and into the centre of the town. There I found a tall, tall tower, and I went into the building and climbed to the top of it.
High in a tower as I looked down over the roofs of the town, the distant hills seemed to beckon me out where the wind blows free, calling me Heidi. Come to the mountains high, Heidi. I hear the mountains cry. I heard the wind through the mountain, through the piney wood trees, up high above on the meadow. Oh, how I long to be out where the wind blows free. I heard the wind through the mountain, through the piney wood trees, up high above on the meadow. Oh, how I long to be out where the wind blows free. Heidi.
When I came down from the tower, a policeman stopped me and asked me where I lived. When I told him, he took me back to the Sesemann's house. Miss Rottenmeier was furious. I think she was more angry about the fact that a policeman had brought me back than she was about the fact that I had run away in the first place. Anyway, she sent me to my room and locked the door. I was not to see anyone, not even Klara. This went on for several days, and it was a terrible time for me. For the first time in my life, I couldn't find anything to be happy about. When Miss Rottenmeier brought my meals to me, I begged her to let me out, but she said I was not to be trusted. I couldn't eat a bite. After what seemed a very long time, the door of my room was opened, and a kindly-faced old woman came in. It was Klara's grandmother. She said, "Come downstairs, child. I want to talk to you." So we went downstairs to the study, where I found Klara.
Oh, Heidi, are you all right?
I didn't mean to run away, Klara, but the wind was from the mountains, and I had to follow it.
I am going to talk to your father, Klara, about Miss Rottenmeier. Keeping this child locked in her room was downright cruel and inhuman.
I didn't know, Grandmother, or I would have insisted that she let Heidi out. Heidi didn't do anything wrong.
Why are you so unhappy, child?
Oh, Klara is very kind and my good friend, But I miss my home and my grandfather. I wish Klara could come with me, and we both could go to my home. Oh, I know Klara would be happy there.
I think that's a good idea. It's very healthful in the high mountains, and being with you when you're happy should be a tonic to anyone. I'm going to arrange it. And so Klara's grandmother did. In just a few days she took the two of us on the train to Meienfeld and then up the mountain. Klara riding on a donkey's back and grandmother and I on foot. Grandfather was delighted to see me and gladly welcomed Klara to stay with us. Klara and I slept in his big bed and he slept in the hayloft. Klara's grandmother stayed in Dorfli. So it went on for several weeks, and the wonderful mountain air seemed to be like a medicine for Klara. She grew stronger and stronger. I had told her so often of the wonders of the high meadows, and she wanted so much to go there with Peter and me. One fine bright morning she said she would try to get out of her chair and walk. We all held our breath as she took her first step. But the first step was only a beginning. Soon Klara, with my help and Peter's, was walking longer and longer distances. And there came a day when she was strong enough to go with us all the way to the high meadow to see Peter's ways and Peter's places.
Come with me to the mountains where the flowers are in bloom. Come with me to the meadows where the hills will sing their tune. To the village we must go, to the hills far up above, where the grass is green and the air is clean, to the places that I love.
I love it too.
As we climb the mountainside, where the goat herd loves to roam, there are roses red, violets blue on the meadows far from home. Odelay, odelay, how I love the places high. Odelay, odelay, I can almost touch the sky. Up the mountains we must go, where the piney wind will blow, and the eagles fly in the sunlit sky as the flowers grow in snow. Odelay, odelay, sing the mountains high above. Odelay, odelay, to the places that I love. Odelay, 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 oh, the places that I love. Odelay, 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 oh, the places that I love.
So the three of us had a happy, happy time in the high meadow with Peter's goats. Now, as a grown mother, looking back on the days of my childhood, I believe that the reason I was able to overcome much misfortune was that I tried to look on the happy side of things as much as I could. I tell my own children that today, and hope that it helps them to live happier and brighter lives.